Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum madam and hello everyone. So today we will explain about the country that we choose, which is Turkey. So first I will explain about the background of Turkey. Turkey has a north to south extent that ranges from about 300 to 400 miles and it stretches about 100 miles from west to east. The country's capital is Ankara, while the largest city is Istanbul. There is a lot of borders around such as Black Sea, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Iran, Iraq, Syria and also agencies. So next, I will explain about the economic activity and population of ethnic group in Turkey. So first, I will explain about the population of ethnic group that I have provided in the maps here. As you can see, there is a lot of ethnic such as Turks, Kurds, Zaza Circassian, Bosnian, Georgians, Albanians and also Arab. Turks make up the largest ethnic in Turkey while Arab is the smallest one which is only 1.1%. Next is about the economic activity in Turkey. People in Turkey have so much alternative to earn income such as from agriculture, manufacturing, construction, transport, electricity and also mining. Most of them work in agriculture sector which is about 33% from all people in Turkey while only 1% work in mining and quarry.
Okay, so now let's jump into the current economic issues in Turkey. There are too many problems we have found, but today we're only gonna proceed to two problems, which are inflation and unemployment. Since the second half of 2019, Turkey inflation rate has been consistently in double digits, with inflation increase as the fastest rate in 2022. The main reason why all of this happened was because exchange rate fluctuations and changes in real money supply. Also, high prices of imported inputs and consumption goods can be one of the reasons too. For the issues here, the fruit price has been increasing by 68.5% in April 2024. The inflation of food prices happened because demand side pressure from a growing population and also low productivity. Next, we move into unemployment issues. Unemployment refers to the share of the labor or force that is without work but available for and seeking for employment. Turkey, or we call Turkey, is a growing market and recognized as one of the world's newest industrialized countries. Partially, due to Turkey's fast-growing economy, the country was able to maintain a large currency reserve. Turkey experienced the lowest unemployment rate since its peak in a decade in 2023, with figures dropping to 9.4% from 10.4% in 2022. Based on the graph, the lowest unemployment rate in the past decade was in 2013 when it stood at 8.9%, while the highest rate was in 2019 at 13.7%.
Hi, so I'm gonna explain about the inflation in Turkey. Inflation refers to the general increase in the prices of goods and services in an economy over time. This graph shows the inflation rates in Turkey. In 2021, the inflation driven by aggressive interest rate cuts and lira depreciation. In 2022, the inflation rise due to global supply chain issues, high energy prices, and low interest rates. In 2023, the inflation remained high caused by low interest rates, high future spending, and global commodity costs. In 2024, the inflation driven by continued low interest rates and economic policies prioritizing growth over inflation control. The highest inflation happened in 2024, that is 75.45%, meanwhile the lowest inflation rate happened in 2021, that is 36.08%. There are two types of inflation that were related in Turkey. There is cost push inflation and wage push inflation. The cost push inflation is caused by an increase in the cost of production for each unit of output produced. The global energy price have risen in Turkey from 72.9% to 75.2%, resulting in higher pricing for products and services as this affects production and transportation. The cost push inflation in Turkey will be fueled by factors such as rising wages, raw material price, and energy costs. On the other hand, for the wage push inflation, this type of inflation occurs when the wage level increases, which will lead to increase in the cost of production and the output price. For example, Labour Minister Vedat Isatan said that Turkey's monthly minimum wage will jump by 49% to 17,002 Turkish lira in 2024. Now, I'm going to explain about the causes of inflation in Turkey. The first one is the currency depreciation. A weaker lira raises import prices, contributing to inflation. For example, transportation and utility costs increased significantly in late 2023. The next one is monetary policy. The central bank conventional policies like keeping interest rates low led to further lira depreciation and rising inflation. This was particularly notable after President Erdogan re-election. The last one is the food prices. There were high food inflation due to poor harvest and supply chain issues. In November 2022, the food inflation reached 102.6% and in June 2024, it was 68.1% higher than the previous year. For the last slide of inflation, I will give an explanation of the impact of inflation in Turkey. The first one is the cost of living. The inflation raises prices for essentials like food, straining family budgets, especially for lower-income families in cities like Istanbul and Ankara. The second one is the consumer behavior. The consumer shift to cheaper products and services, affecting industries like fashion and travel as people prioritize financial security. And the last one is savings and investment. The inflation erodes the real value of savings if interest rates are lower than inflation rates. While real estate investment in cities like Antalya and Istanbul might get benefit, many locals couldn't afford the house prices.
Next, we move to the second macroeconomics problem in Turkey, which is unemployment. Did you guys know, actually, rate of unemployment in recent year 2024 is 9.6%, while number of employees increased to 31.5 million, but at the same time, jobless person also increased to 3.5 million. Like many other countries, Turkey's unemployment rate can be divided into a few categories according to several factors that impact the labor market. And the most common categories of unemployment, the first one is structural unemployment. Structural unemployment arises from mismatches in the skills that job seekers have and also the skills that employers require, as well as structural shifts in the economy, are the root causes of structural unemployment. For example, in Turkey, sectors experiencing rapid technological advancement in Turkey may necessitate the use of skills not readily available in the labor market, which would result in structural unemployment among lower skilled workers in industry like IT, AI, and also digital service. Another type of unemployment is frictional unemployment. Frictional unemployment is a short-term situation occurring either when individuals are between jobs or first entering the workforce. Usually, it related to job searching, relocation, or seasonal employment patterns. For example, people who graduated or looking for a job, or people moving from this city to another in Turkey may experience this frictional unemployment because of this. If we have a problem, we want to know why it happened, or we can say the main cause of the problem, right? So next, we want to know the causes of unemployment in Turkey. First one, due to advanced technology, it shows a situation of non-compliance between the supply and the demand for labor, which also causes structure and unemployment. Turkish citizens nowadays were unable to keep up with new invention and technological advancement. That's why manufacturers nowadays want a robot, or they're using advanced technology to do the job of labor. Second one is due to the pandemic COVID-19 between 2020 until 2021. Frictional unemployment happened because of a lot of people were quitting their job, either voluntary or were asked to leave their job. Because of why? They were concerned about their health and they want to prevent themselves from being infected by the COVID-19. That's why they're quitting their job. The company also needs to cut its budget by firing them because of the lowest demand for their product or their services due to COVID-19. Alright, next. Unemployment has far-reaching effect not only on individuals but also to the economy and society as a whole. So, first, we look at the effect to us as individuals. The first one, loss of income and financial strain. Unemployed individuals will face a loss of regular income, leading to financial difficulty, such as inability to pay the bills, the debts, or the loans. Next, poverty and reduced standard of living. Long-term unemployment can push individuals and their family into poverty or lower income brackets that will affect their ability to get necessity and maintain their standard of living as individuals. Next, we move to the economic effects. Reduced consumer spending. When unemployed individuals have less of income, which reduces overall consumer spending as individuals. This can give an impact for businesses especially for those dependent on consumer goods and also services. Next, lower tax revenue. With fewer people employed, tax revenue will decrease and will affect the government budget and also the ability to fund public services such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure. And the last one, we look at the effect to our society. Social unrest, presenting unemployment, especially among certain demographic groups and also regions, can lead to social unrest, protests, and also political instability as people become disillusioned with this system.
I will talk about measurement to overcome the inflation problem in Turkey. First, raising the interest rate. To lessen the impact of exchange rate fluctuation in Turkey, the central bank should prioritize tightening monetary policy by frequently adjusting the interest rate to avoid inflation and maintain a stable currency. An increase in interest rates could result in encouraging people to save more and increase the saving level to decrease the aggregate demand and price level. Second, open market operations. The central bank conducts open market operations by selling government securities, short-term bonds, or treasury bills in the open market to the public. This will reduce money supply, hence reducing the aggregate demand and price level. Third, raising the required ratio. The central bank will raise the reserve ratio to reduce cash resources in commercial banks and force these commercial banks to limit their lending activities. Lower interest rates can enhance money supply by making borrowing more affordable, whereas higher rates have the opposite effect. Last but not least, price control and rationing. The prices of some items will be directly controlled by the government. Price fixing is used to maintain a low overall price level by setting a floor price or ceiling price. All goods and services must have price tag authorized by the authority. This is said so because labeling of all pricing is necessary to avoid overcharging. Campaigns against hoarding should be conducted to stop manufacturers and consumers from stockpiling items, as this can lead to a false shortage and an increase in the cost of goods. In several countries, rationing is the final option when the previous method are unable to keep the cost of certain necessities under control. Rationing is used to control the price of explicit products so that many consumers can purchase them. For example, wheat, rice, sugar, kerosene oil, and others.
Measure to overcome the unemployment problem. Every country faces difficulties due to the phenomenon of unemployment, which is an increase in people who are willing and able to work, but unable to find a suitable job at a certain level of wage rate. An economy may suffer greatly from a high rate of unemployment that is linked to a situation where a labour force participants are available to willing to work, but unable to find job. And Turkey unemployment rate has been comparatively high and unstable due to the few reasons such as policy choices, economic cycles, and international economic situation. There are some plans that Turkey has been trying to decrease unemployment problem. First is providing training and technical education. Enhanced training and education will help people to find employment by improving their skill and knowledge. Job sector will offer psychosocial support and training. Skill employment is crucial for efficient resource use and addressing social concern. High quality products meet customer expectation and are reliable. The Turkish Armed Forces will provide vocational training for conscripted men. Second is increasing jobs in labor-intensive industry. Investing in labor-intensive sector like agriculture, food services, hospitality, healthcare, and mining can reduce poverty and employment. Unlike technology and automation, which increase efficiency, reduce the job, the sector requires significant labor. And third is decreasing taxes. Lowering taxes like excise, services, sales, income, and corporate taxes encourage investment and boost consumption. Reduce taxes increase disposable income, leading to higher consumer spending and increased demand for goods and services. And this demand prompts businesses to expand and hire more staff. And lastly is lowering bank rates. Reducing bank rates lower borrowing costs for individuals and businesses. This encourages business acquisitions and investment, leading to a job creation. And lower interest rate also reduce the cost of consumer credit, increasing spending on goods and services. Higher consumer spending increase demand, prompting businesses to hire more workers to meet this demand.
In conclusion, macroeconomics actually can help a lot to solve the problem that we identified just now, like inflation and also unemployment. Because as we can see here, Turkey now facing the significant inflationary challenges driven by factors such as exchange rate fluctuations, changes in real money supply, and rising food prices. Turkey also faced with unstable unemployment due to several factors. So from this, we could identify and resolve the problem that faced by Turkey